welcome back. Today, yes, I have a Disney DIYs video. Finally, we are doing some Nightmare Before Christmas tree decorations. That is a mouthful. Yeah, so this year I did not do my traditional Halloween Disney DIYs video, but that's okay because this one kind of covers both, you know, Halloween and Christmas. Also, the movie just celebrated its 25th anniversary this year. It's one of my favorite movies. If you follow me, you'll know that I always have to do, like, every year some sort of Nightmare Before Christmas DIY. So yeah, this video is not really a surprise. These DIYs are relatively easy, as always, pretty cheap to make because mama here is cheap. Well, I wouldn't say cheap, I would say more like frugal. Without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. The first of 3 ornaments I'm going to show you how to make is the monster wreath. To make this guy, you are going to need some wired garland ties. These are from the Dollar Tree, some black felt, white felt, yellow fabric. I actually used some ribbon because that's all that I had, some red ribbon, holly, a glue gun, and a pair of scissors. Starting off with the wired garland, you are going to take a strand, form a circle, and tie it together at both ends. Once that is done, take your white felt and cut out white triangles in order to create those menacing razor sharp teeth that will go inside the wreath. These should ideally be different sizes, some smaller and some larger than others. After that is done, you are going to glue them onto the wreath from the backside. I glued about 5 teeth to the top and another 7 to the bottom. Once that's done, if you have some of the garland covering the teeth, you can feel free to give it a little trim so those menacing teeth can show. And then you can move on to the eyes. So using the yellow ribbon, I cut out 2 ovals for the eyes. Like I said, I used ribbon, but you can use any other type of fabric. And then once that's done, glue them on and then also glue 2 small dots. I used the black felt here in order to create the pupils. After that, take some of your holly. I got this holly also at the Dollar Tree and I cut into smaller pieces and glue them around the wreath. And then finally, with your red ribbon, create a bow and glue it to the bottom of the wreath. To be able to hang it onto your tree, you're going to want to take either a thin piece of ribbon or some twine. I'm using twine here, and you're going to create a loop, glue that to the back of your wreath, and then you are ready to hang it. You have got yourself a very menacing but also very cute monster wreath. Up next is just about the most adorable zero ornament. To make this guy, you are going to need some white fabric, some black felt, red felt, an orange pom-pom, a glue gun, and a pair of scissors. Taking the white fabric, you are first going to cut a square. How big really depends on how big you want your zero to be. Once done, pinch it from the center, lift it, and form what would be Zero's head, just the way I am doing here. Next, cut a small strip out of the red felt and wrap it around what would be Zero's neck, adding some glue to hold it in place and cutting any excess off. Next, you are going to cut the ears. I just kind of cut out 2 strands that are pointy at the end and glued them to each side of his head. Finally, glue on the orange pom-pom to the tip of his nose to create his pumpkin nose. And for his eyes, also glue on 2 tiny pieces of felt to each side of his head. In order to be able to hang him from the tree, I cut out a slit right below his collar, and with the twine, I tied a loop and pushed it through the slit from the inside. You're going to want to make sure that the knot on the twine is big enough so it doesn't fall through, or you can also glue it on for safe measure. If you didn't sew this like me, you may find that you have some fraying, but that's okay. Just cut it off to clean it up. But after that, you are donezos and you have yourself a zero ornament. For the last DIY, we're going to be doing a Zero and Jack silhouette ornament. To make this one, you are going to need some white acrylic paint, a clear sphere ornament, I got this one from the Dollar Tree, and a permanent marker, preferably with a fine tip. The first step is removing the top of the ornament and filling it with white acrylic paint. If your paint is too thick, you may want to add some water to thin it out in order for it to distribute all evenly. If you have any excess paint, make sure to drain it out before adding the top back on. And of course, you can skip this step entirely if you are able to find some white ornaments. I wasn't, but this was an easy fix for me. After that, you can move on to drawing your silhouette, and this can be anything you want. As you can see here, I am doing the classic spiral hill with Jack and Zero walking towards it, but of course it doesn't have to be that. I've seen some really cool ones with just the face of Jack, some with Sally, and some with just Zero. It really helps to have a reference image when doing this, especially if you are not good at drawing like me. me, as you can see here, I particularly struggled with Jack's hands. I don't know why, I just kept drawing them bigger. But the fact that it's made by you and not perfect is what makes it special. I also drew some stars, as you just saw, and then filled in the rest with a larger marker. This just made it a lot easier. The fine tip is for accuracy, but it really helps to use a larger marker in order to fill in some of the bigger parts. After that, you are done. Oh, and pro tip, if you mess up during this process, you can always wipe it off with some rubbing alcohol. And there you have it, your 3 Nightmare Before Christmas Christmas tree ornaments. That is all that I have for today, folks. I really hope that all the Disney and DIY fans here enjoyed it. If you like this video, let me know by liking this video. You can also comment down below, just say hi, hello, buongiorno, hola, bye, aloha, whatever you want. Definitely had my caffeine today because I'm just like blah, 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 blah. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more. I would love to have you back on here. And finally, also please send cookies. Sending you all a super duper big virtual hug, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!